This video will show you how to manage your coiled clusters. Specifically, we'll look at how to create custom clusters and how to manage clusters that are already running. Let's start by looking at creating custom clusters. You can create a coiled cluster using the coiled.cluster command. This creates a cluster with these default settings. However, this might not be what you're looking for, and so you can create custom clusters by specifying various options to the keyword arguments, such as the name of the cluster, the software environment it's running, the number of workers, the worker memory and CPU, the scheduler memory and CPU, the account that the cluster is running in, whether or not to shut it down when the Python process closes, and a number of scheduler and worker options. Pressing enter creates the cluster, which takes a few minutes. Now that your coiled cluster is up and running, let's look at other options that you can tweak. Specifically, let's look at scaling, reusing, listing, and deleting clusters. Let's start with scaling. You can scale a running cluster using the cluster.scale command and specifying the number of workers you want the cluster to scale to. This can be either a higher or a lower number. You can also reuse existing clusters in different Python processes. For example, if I want to switch over to a Jupyter notebook, I can import Coiled and connect to the running cluster by specifying the name keyword argument. As you can see, this connects much faster because the cluster is already running. Finally, you can list and delete the clusters that you have running. There are two ways to do this. The first is using the Coiled API with coiled.list_clusters to list any running clusters, and coiled.delete_cluster and specifying the name keyword argument to delete a running cluster. Alternatively, you can use the Coiled Cloud dashboard. This is a more visual approach. You have a list of any running clusters here with information about them, and if you navigate to the right and click the stop button, you can shut a cluster down. Alright, you're all set with a basic introduction to managing your coiled clusters. Next, maybe check out our material on creating software environments.